You get into it?
Well, yeah. Do you want me to like do an intro? Do you want to introduce? I don't know how you do your streams.
Say who you are, and then I want to show the godforsaken Twitter thread that we were arguing over, and then we can discuss it bit by bit.
I mean, all right, sure. I mean, I kind of was hoping we were just gonna bring up the topics from the Twitter thread. I don't really want to go through like each individual tweet and like go through everyone's words, because I think like we're both like hyperbolic and spicy weirdos on the internet. So
my main criticism is that you're stupid on Twitter and I'm not. So I think it'd be very prescient of us to actually go through the stupid shit that you said, rather than letting you to run it back and present some backpedaled version of what you said.
Why would I do that? I'm coming here
coming in hot.
Faith, so I mean, I don't know why
we'll let them
my God.
Look, backpedaling bad, okay?
I'm not backpedaling though. Like, you're accusing me of something and we haven't even started.
Before we even talk, I'm gonna play the video clip that spawned all this, just 23 seconds really quick, so everybody has full context.
God, dude, these
Oh, hell yeah, let's go.
Look, I get overconsumption's a problem, but whether you like it or not, I mean, I want my iPhones. I'm not on board for socialism if it means cutting standard of living to like a third of what it currently is. Oh boy.
Can you bring up the volume of the video?
Amount of living standard down? We shouldn't have to. What is the point of socialism if people's standard of living gets cut down? So that was the clip, and you're familiar, so you probably know what I just showed. And then you say, I cannot take white men who yell about socialism means everyone still gets to keep the same standard of living or it isn't socialism seriously. What about black people or people in the global south who the West profits from? The standard of living is a capitalist concept. Do you want to elaborate on that in any way?
I mean, I just want you to ask me like how you feel about like degrowth and how you feel about what I said. Like, I mean, I'm not going to defend anything that I said on Twitter because it's Twitter. So like, I'm coming here for you to ask me.
So first of all, the white men thing is pretty weird. I understand broader, like, generalized criticisms, but I don't know what that has to do with my argument here.
Well, I mean, I'm a person of color, so if I say the word white, I think I'm allowed to, right? Like, who cares?
I
like, that's just silly.
How did we get a swing and a miss in both directions here? Mel saying the white men thing is actually super valid, but not for the reason she just gave. Wait, what the fuck? Bringing up the white thing here might be valid because you could argue that a Western standard of living is mainly Eurocentric and it's based on the subjugation, arguably, of persons of color. That's like one way that you could say, like, yeah, that's why I criticize white men when I say Western. When people talk about a Western standard of living, that's mainly like an illusion created by white Eurocentric people that are taking advantage or profiting off of third world countries that are generally persons of color. That would be like an okay response. But for Mel to just go, well, I'm a person of color, so I can just say white. Like, wait, that's not the right response. That was equally stupid. Why would you counter with that? Jesus.
I didn't say you're not allowed to, but it's pretty weird.
Why do you think it's weird?
I think it's a little weird
for me
to make an argument and for people to dismiss it by implying that my whiteness has something to do with the non-validity of that argument.
Okay, so let me push back on this first 1 second, and then I would like to get back on the subject, but I do want to say this. So when we're talking about people of color, when we're talking about marginalized folks, when we're talking about anybody who is not living in the imperial court, when we're not talking about when we look at how capitalism and imperialism has impacted the rest of the world for the last 400 years, when I say that this is a white person talking, it's not saying that like Vaush is white, don't listen to him because he's white. It's that generally like whiteness carries a perspective that it outweighs any other kind of marginalization. It outweighs all kinds of other factors in the discussion that you're having. So if you're talking about
you dismissing it because I'm white, but it is.
God, what a dog shit answer. Oh my God. She's close, but just, ugh. Okay.
No, because your whiteness is heavier than any other marginalization that you have, and that's just a fact.
What does that have to do with the argument that I made? Why not critique the argument? Why does it have to be
I can totally critique the argument, but like that's just the hyperbolic statement that I'm saying. So you wanted to know why I said it. I'm giving you the reason why I said it and what it means.
That's not what hyperbolic means. Hyperbolic doesn't mean calling a person white in a way that implies that that's in some way impugning my ability to make a coherent argument.
Do we want to go over the definition of hyperbolic? That's not identity politics. That's intersection. Like, you have to be intersectional when we're
Wait,
talking
the
about
idea that my argument is less valid, or that its validity is in some way... Hold on. Or that the validity of that argument is in some way determined by my race.
It's not about being invalid.
No, wait, you just said that my whiteness weighs on my perspective more than any other marginalization, and you did that so because that influences my perspective. So what you're saying is my race, in some way, shape, or form, influences the validity, or at least the thought process behind my takes.
No. I'm not saying it's because you are white that influences that is how your perspective is going to come across to, like, people of color. And so
I think people of color are perfectly capable of grappling with my arguments without imputing me for being white.
There's already a bias there. That's all I'm trying to point out.
There's always
there.
a bias to everyone, but this is what lets people like Candace Owens get away with dismissing arguments because they're
Jesus.
non-white. This is the definition
Oh
of
my
liberal
God.
identity politics.
We're just
No, it's not.
we're just going into all the debate tactics. Oh my God.
It's not, though.
Wait, Mel. And you take validity away from groups, or arguments made from groups that are privileged. This is...
Okay, so these two people fucking hate each other. To be fair, I fucking hate the Chaos Mel person too. But damn, we're just getting right in.